You are listening to Confessions of a Counselor podcast with Janice, mental health in bite-sized chunks. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Confessions of a Counselor. I'm your host, Janice, and in today's episode, I thought we would talk about the why is all of this emotional regulation talk really important. So why do I need emotional regulation in the therapeutic process? So let's jump right in. In terms of understanding that emotional regulation, so we talked about the different kinds of feelings, right? So why am I feeling grief? Why do my feelings feel so big? Why am I overwhelmed? Why do I get so angry? And then we did talk about more of that emotional regulation on the sympathetic nervous system side of things and how it's playing into my body and what that looks like. And how can I use emotional regulation skills, tools, and tricks in order to get regulated again. So when we look at the big picture of why am I emotionally regulating? Why is this important in the therapeutic process? I want us to really understand that connection between our mind and our body. So as we kind of talked about that window of tolerance and getting knocked out and coming back in, and what skills can I use in order to regulate? This idea is really important because if I'm knocked out of my window, if I'm not feeling okay, if things feel overwhelming, if things feel like I can't handle them, then the skills and the tools and the conversations that I'm having in therapy with my therapist, or the things that I have learned in therapy, aren't going to be effective. I'm not going to be able to call on those tools. I'm not going to be able to use those skills until I can get back in my window, which means I need to be practicing emotional regulation. I need to be practicing these skills. I need to have the awareness to know I'm not doing okay right now. What can I do to help myself feel better? So this emotional regulation piece is really important, and it ties into when I'm having big feelings, when I feel dysregulated, how can I then come back into my window so that I can start to use the skills that are really important in therapy, like setting boundaries, like journaling, like being able to communicate effectively with my partner. Those foundational pieces of therapy can't be done until I regulate within myself. So I just wanted to kind of wrap up the season of emotional regulation with today's episode as to why it's so important, and then kind of give you my final thoughts next time. Okay, I hope that you found this helpful. Until next time, take care. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Confessions of a Counselor podcast is available anywhere you like to listen to your podcasts, both on Apple and Android. New episodes are released every Friday. If you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to join the conversation, leave a review, or subscribe to the podcast hosted on Spotify. You can find all these details on janicelyons.com. Until next time, take care.